Students, in the first stanza we have seen that the poet stood at the fork from where two roads got separated, and he kept standing there for a long time, thinking hard to decide which way to choose. Now let's see what decision he makes. Now see the second stanza. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. After thinking hard, the poet decided to choose for the other road, which seemed to him more beneficial or fruitful, which was having a better claim. The reason he gives is because it is grassy and not travelled much by people, and it wanted wear. What is a wear here? We use the expression wear and tear for things which have been worn out, which have been used excessively, something which has lost its freshness and smoothness after being used too much. So here it seems that this road, which is very grassy and looks very fresh, it wanted people to be travelled on it. So it has been said here as wanted wear. The road also wanted to be used by people. Though as for the passing there, had worn them really about the same. The poet, he further goes on to say that both the roads were about the same, means similarly used by people. Both looked very similar in a way that both the roads have been used by people, but he chooses the second one, which is less travelled by. This shows that the writer wishes to choose a path which is adventurous, where not many people have gone. So both the roads here are used by people, but the difference was that very few tried the adventurous path, while the majority walked on the mainstream, the common path. So here this shows the adventurous personality also of the poet, that he wishes to choose an adventurous path in his life. Students, the third stanza continues to describe the possible differences between the two roads, and both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. The poet says that in that morning both the roads equally lay similar. Similar in what way? That there were fallen leaves spread out on both the roads, and nobody has yet travelled on them. As he says that no step had trodden black. If the leaves would have been travelled by people, then they would have been crushed under their footsteps and would have turned into a dull or black color. But here it is evident by the freshness of the leaves that they had not been turned dull or dark. So in this way both the roads were similar, as they have not been travelled by any traveller yet. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. The poet, he decided to keep the road that he had not chosen, for some other day. He thought of going on that path some other time in his life, but he knows that the road he has decided to walk on will further open into many more new roads, and he is doubtful that if he would ever go back. Because in life, one thing leads on to another, and as we know, life is short, so we only tend to move forward, taking up the challenges in our lives and further taking up new decisions. But we can only think of the moment when we can go back and start afresh, but that only remained in our thought, because there is no going back. What's done cannot be undone. We only have to take steps further and accept the life as it comes to us.